You ever notice this? The people you treat the best are often the ones who feel the least attraction to you. You bend, you soften your voice, you over-understand. You apologize first, you forgive fast. You say, "It's okay, I get it," even when it's not okay, because you don't want to lose them. You show up every time they call. You rearrange your plans. You tolerate the cancellations, the mixed signals, the disrespect. And you keep leading with kindness. And slowly, you watch them lose interest. They get colder, they get shorter, they get busy. But the people who treat them half as well, they chase those, they obsess over those, they can't stop thinking about those. So you start to wonder, is being kind my problem? Do I have to become cold, mean, or toxic for anyone to want me? No, kindness isn't the problem, but being too kind will kill attraction. Not because love rewards cruelty, but because what you call kindness is often something much darker, self-abandonment dressed up as love. Let's talk about it. Attraction, attachment, emotional power. Today we're going into why being too kind kills attraction, and how to stop mistaking self-betrayal for love. So first, we need to be clear. When I say too kind, I'm not talking about basic decency, not about compassion, not about empathy. I'm talking about this. You constantly put their comfort above your own sanity. You say yes when you mean no. You downplay your needs so you don't seem difficult. You overgive before anything is earned. You're not just kind, you're available all the time to everything for everyone. You call it loving, but your nervous system calls it, "I'm terrified of losing them, so I'll do anything." That energy doesn't create attraction, it kills it. Here's why. There's no tension, no contrast, no mystery. Attraction needs edges. It's not built in comfort alone. It's built in the space between comfort and uncertainty. When someone knows without a shadow of a doubt that no matter what they do, you will understand, forgive, and accommodate them, they stop feeling any urgency around you. You become predictable. They know you'll text back. They know you'll say, "It's fine." They know you'll still be there next week, next month, next year, even if they keep you on the bottom shelf. Their brain gets bored. Human beings are wired to respond to contrast. Hot and cold, near and far, available and not always available. Your too kind version of love. It's all one color, no shadows, no distance, no sense of "I could lose this if I'm careless." So they get comfortable, then they get complacent, and eventually they get indifferent. They don't feel pulled toward you anymore, not because you weren't good enough, but because you erased every edge you had to offer. Too kind becomes too smooth, and too smooth feels flat. Your kindness starts to signal low self-respect. You might not say it out loud, but your behavior whispers it for you. "I will accept less than I deserve, as long as you don't leave." You tolerate last-minute plans, disrespectful jokes, half-hearted effort, apologies with no change, being a secret, a backup, a maybe. And then you pour kindness over it like a bandage. You're always understanding, always forgiving, always taking the blame just to keep the peace. From inside you, it feels like love. From outside, it looks like this. You don't value yourself, so why should they? People learn how to treat you by watching what you allow. And here's the part nobody likes to hear. The moment someone senses that you don't protect your own value, you stop feeling high value to them. Not because they're evil, because it's hard to deeply desire what seems easy to obtain and impossible to lose. If you hand your heart over on a silver plate to someone who hasn't even shown up properly yet, you're not showing them how loving you are. You're showing them how desperate you are. Desperation kills attraction. Not the quiet hope of wanting someone, but the energy that says, "I'll accept any version of you, just don't abandon me." They feel it even if you never say it. And it makes your kindness feel less like a gift and more like a symptom of fear. Being too kind makes you feel untrustworthy. This sounds backwards, but stay with me. When every answer is yes, when every boundary is flexible, when every mistake is forgiven in record time, people don't just feel safe, they start to feel uneasy. Because real humans have limits. Real humans say no. Real humans get hurt and need repair. If you're always fine, always okay, always understanding, never offended, never tired, never at capacity, you stop feeling real. And what isn't real can't be trusted. They don't know what you actually think. They don't know what you actually feel. They don't know where you actually stand. They just know you will always bend toward what they want. So your kindness starts to feel like a strategy, not a truth. Are they being nice because that's who they are? Or because they're scared to lose me? What do they really think of me? What do they say when I'm not around? They might not say these questions out loud, but the uneasiness is there. Without boundaries, your yes has no weight. It starts to feel cheap. People trust the kindness of someone who can also say no, more than the kindness of someone who never does. Because kindness without a spine feels like a mask. And we don't fall in love with masks. We might use them, we don't respect them. Your kindness starts to feel like emotional debt. When you overgive, overextend, overinvest, long before anything is earned, the other person starts to feel something heavy, pressure. You do everything. You remember their important days. You show up, you pay, you plan, you carry their emotions, their stress, their bad days. You're always there with support, soothing, reassurance. And at first they enjoy it, who wouldn't? But over time, they start to feel like they can't match it. They don't feel the same depth you do. They're not showing up like you are. So now your kindness doesn't feel like a gift. It feels like a bill. They feel guilty. They feel inadequate. They feel like no matter what they do, it won't be enough. So what do people do when they feel like they're constantly in emotional debt? They pull away. They avoid you. They create distance. Not always because they don't care, but because they're tired of feeling like the villain in your story. They know you're too kind. They also know they can't or won't meet you there. So rather than rise to your level, they step back and tell themselves some version of, "You're too good for me. I don't deserve you. I can't give you what you want." You hear that and think it's romantic. It's not. It's confession and escape mixed together. Your kindness becomes something they need freedom from. That's how being too kind kills attraction. It transforms soft affection into heavy obligation. They can't respect what never resists them. We test what we're in relationship with, consciously, unconsciously. We push a little to see if it pushes back. It's not always malicious. Sometimes it's small. They show up late, they cancel last minute, they flirt with other people in front of you, they forget things that matter to you. And every time, you absorb it. You smile, you say, "It's fine, I understand." You lower your expectations a little bit more. You think you're keeping the peace. What you're actually doing is teaching them there is no limit. So they keep going. They push a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. Not just because they're bad, but because some part of them is asking subconsciously, where does your self-respect begin? What do you protect? Do you have a line? Attraction is not just about who we want. It's about who we can respect. And we don't fully respect what we can walk all over. We may like it, we may use it, we may keep it around, but deep attraction, it doesn't survive long in a place where there is no resistance. When everything is allowed, nothing feels significant. So what do you do with all of this? Do you become cruel? Do you become cold? Do you punish the next person for what the last one did? No. You don't need to stop being kind. You need to stop being kind at your own expense. Real attraction comes from this balance, a soft heart and a hard spine. So here's what that looks like in practice. You slow down your yes. You don't offer the deepest parts of you to someone who's only offering the shallowest parts of themselves. You let people earn your effort. Not through playing games, but through paying attention. Do their actions match their words? Do they show up repeatedly? Do they respect your time? Do they listen when you speak? Do they honor your boundaries? If they do, you meet them with warmth. If they don't, you don't compensate with more kindness. You adjust your level of access. You stop explaining your standards like they're negotiable. You start statting them like they're normal. I don't accept being spoken to like that. I don't do last-minute scraps. If you want to see me, plan ahead. I'm not interested in being a maybe. Either we're building something or I step back. Not with rage, not with drama, with calm. You let people feel the reality that your life is not built around them. You also start telling the truth when you're hurt. Instead of "it's fine," you say, "when you did that, it hurt. If it keeps happening, I'm not going to stay." You don't use kindness to hide your anger, your sadness, your disappointment. You express those emotions cleanly and let the other person show you who they are in response. Because here's the secret: the right people are not turned off by your boundaries, they're attracted to them. Your self-respect tells them, this person has a life, this person has standards. If I'm in their world, it means something. Your kindness, when it's backed by self-protection, feels rare, valuable, alive. Not cheap, not desperate, not automatic. When you stop using kindness as a currency to buy love, and start using it as an expression of who you are with people who have actually shown up for you, it stops killing attraction. It starts amplifying it. So remember, being cold doesn't make you powerful. Being cruel doesn't make you magnetic. What makes you powerful is refusing to abandon yourself in the name of love. You can be warm, you can be generous, you can be soft. But let your softness sit inside a structure, a spine, a standard, a line that says, I will not hurt myself to keep you comfortable. That's where real attraction lives. Not in being too kind, but in being real, kind, honest, boundaried. The kind of person who doesn't need to chase, because their very presence is an invitation, and their self-respect is the door. If you recognized yourself in this, go back and listen again. Then start small. Say no once where you would have said yes. Tell the truth once where you would have swallowed it. Let someone feel the consequence of not valuing you. You're not too kind. You've just been too willing to disappear. It's time to come back into the room as someone you'd actually be attracted to.